Oh, spoiler alert, last night, while beating themselves up over a top 10 oversight, if it was an oversight. Maybe it was a change of opinion once they heard all of the Steph stands.
Who knew he was such a big Jerry West fan?
Sorry, Nick's actually very upset about this.
I got accosted on the street about it.
This is our trivia. This is our resident trivia.
Yes.
guy.
I was accosted.
Oh yeah, Gianna, he's out. I'm in.
You don't
like
know
Top
what
Gun.
accosted means. I was accosted. A guy
think
walked
you know
up
what
to me
accosted
and
means.
abrasively questioned me about yesterday's top 10.
Is that accosted?
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't there. So I don't
Confirmed.
Wow.
But it sounds
It
like
is.
You're accosting me.
impressive.
Yes.
He was pretty
An elite group of analysts, savants, and the guy who did LaMelo's foot tattoo. It may have been a hoax. I don't know. Fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all sports. It's an honor and it's a privilege. It's time for play-in tears.
Sadly, we have a new elimination. And it's not the team that should have been eliminated, but their best player got sideswiped yesterday and missed the rest of the game. They lost in overtime. Miami Heat eliminated. 11 games, Heat culture, set.
Yeah. You know what? It's
Memorable-
good for the Heat. They
memorable
need
set.
to go a different route.
Giannis.
the-
Pat Riley's back on the Giannis.
Steelers of the NBA.
Except
Great
they made the finals twice this decade.
I like
All
that.
right,
take.
bottom of
God,
the
Jimmy Butler. Yeah,
That's fair. Bottom of the tiers, put us/me out of our misery. For the Warriors. They want this season to end.
That should be the magic on there.
Well, we'll get to them in a second. The Warriors want their season to end. I want the Hornets season.
Oh, okay. That makes more
They're
sense.
a young, up-and-coming squad.
So put us meaning the Warriors, me meaning me for the Hornets. That's what it is.
Gotcha.
They're both a game away from their season ending. Weird seasons. Clippers, Suns, Magic. Clippers, one of the weirdest seasons ever. The start 6-21, a weird scandal hovering over their star all year long that we've been promised resolution on. It's not coming. They turn it all around. They all of a sudden look dangerous. Kawhi is the best year he's had as a Clipper, yet they're in the 9-10 play-in game, hanging on for dear life. The Suns, very little expectations, felt to me like they had overachieved throughout big bulks of the year, and yet they now all of a sudden are hanging on for dear life. And the Magic, last year they won 41 games, were a play-in team, were, easily dispatched in round one. This year they were better across the board, and they all hate it. And
Desmond Bane.
Right, they trade for Desmond Bane. Paolo seemingly has peaked. There is more than smoke. There is a simmering inferno about the team. Might not love Jamal Mosley. Jamal Mosley might not love the team. I don't know.
What's going on with the Magic?
You know
that
what?
was the same. That's literally
Kevin Clark.
the same
We're
story.
playing your music. We need you.
Like
You're
Stan
right.
Van and Dwight. It's the same story.
They would die for that now.
Do you
At
think
least
it's
then they were
something to do with the fact that there's so much happiness outside of the basketball team in
Disney,
Orlando
of
because of Disney that, to balance the world out, there needs to be misery within the basketball team? Something to think about.
No.
National debuts. Denny Avdia, Scotty Barnes. Welcome to the big stage. I do think there are, just like there were a lot of people last night that were like, wait a minute. Is the Amazon audio a touch ahead of the action? Yeah, it's been like that all year. Company's worth $100 trillion. Can we get that right for the playoffs?
I get my package. They got Prime Day of. So I'm okay with the audio.
Just my TV.
No, it's everybody. A lot of people also realize Denny Avdia.
He's nice.
So how many people last night were like, Denny Avdia is on the Blazers and he's awesome? It's true. Scotty Barnes, I think he's always been on the Raptors, but he has been the best player on a team that was consistently out of the play-in, basically right in that, what I would call kind of second-ish tier of the Eastern Conference all year long, gets an opportunity to make a big impact. 5-year fork in the road. Sixers, Hawks. 5 years ago, the Sixers and the Hawks played a Game 7. In that Game 7, Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot a layup. And the Sixers franchise has not been the same since then. The Hawks franchise ends up making a conference finals, thinks they're cooking with gas, with Trae Young, he's not there anymore, and now they're good again. But that series 5 years ago set the Sixers on a path. The Hawks thought it was setting them on one path. They ended up diverting from it, which was a good thing. But that was 5 years ago in a couple weeks. What did Andy Dufresne say in the somewhat overrated but still good movie Shawshank Redemption?
Wow, what a take baked into this.
Somewhat overrated. People call it the greatest movie of all time.
It's a great movie.
It could be one of the 50 greatest movies ever and be overrated the way people talk about it. It's a great movie. I'm happy for it.
Wow.
Tim Robbins. Everybody loves Morgan Freeman. But what did he say? Hope is a good thing. Not if you're Kevin Wildes. In that case, it's like, oh, what about I'm a hamstring expert? I know all about European medicine and recovery time. Shut up. You don't know. He might come back. It's hope. He might come back.
Let me get a picture.
How about that?
We got cell phones in Europe. Can I get a picture?
I got to tell you something.
Can I get a picture of Luka?
You're all
walking
pessimistic
around
about Luka's hamstring and Austin Reeves' oblique. I don't think for $100 you could point where the oblique is.
The oblique? It's right here. It's on your
Exactly.
side.
Got it wrong. I'm just saying.
The pancreas, on the other hand,
There was
no clue.
if he had a pancreas problem, I'd be concerned. I'm not saying the Lakers are a contender. What I'm saying is they had a 6-week stretch where they sure looked like one. Then guys got hurt. Are those guys ruled out for the season? No. Are they ruled out for the playoffs? No. Are they ruled out indefinitely? Yes. How long is indefinitely? No, literally nobody knows. It's an indefinite period of time.
What would it take?
And they have LeBron James, and they're playing a team that nobody believed in as of 2 weeks ago.
They've been hot.
The weight of expectations. Rockets, Timberwolves, Cavs. None of these teams had bad years. They all won 50 games. They all are going to have guys on the All-NBA team except for Minnesota, and that's only because Ant's going to miss eligibility. But they all had their star players have All-NBA caliber seasons. But they all went into the season saying, why aren't we making the finals? And right now, nobody, except for, I guess, Danny with the Cavs, believes they're making the finals, so it feels disappointing. It's a weight of expectations. Could, emphasis on the could, see you in June. Knicks or Pistons. I think the reason nobody is really, very few people, outside of maybe Greg Jennings with the Pistons and Ramsey with the Knicks, believe either one of these teams can win a championship is because we don't think either one of them are going to get past Boston. But as good as Boston's been, we saw a Boston team that was just as good last year stumble in the playoffs. We just need, if something were to go awry with Boston, either of these teams obviously very easily can win the East. And if you win the East, as the Pacers showed last year, if you're in the finals, you can win the finals. I know it's a weird example because they didn't win the finals, but they could. Could see them in June. Deep pangs of regret.
Why?
It's what the Spurs and their fans are going to be feeling in about 3 weeks when Nikola Jokic is putting up 45, 15s, and 10s, and they're like, we didn't have to play this series. For some reason, we decided Wemby needed to play his 20 minutes against a Mavs team that would have started Mark Cuban if it meant losing the game, rather than a Nuggets team that we needed to beat to knock into the other side of the bracket. They have had an awesome season. They won 60 games. They have a legitimate MVP candidate. They have another legitimate All-NBA candidate in Stephon Castle. They have a Coach of the Year candidate. And I think their season's going to end 12 games from now. And it's because of what they did in Game 82. A Baker's dozen? Question mark? So, I'm about to show a graphic. Now, is this graphic to try to make up for yesterday? Maybe. These are the 12 greatest players in NBA history. We could argue about the order, and you might say, Nick,
definitely
Nick,
yes.
and you might say, Nick, is that left to right? And I would say, this one, yes, it is. But we can.
It's terrible.
So we can.
You gotta get it constant again.
So we can. So here's the reason the Nuggets category is a Baker's dozen. If the Nuggets were to win the championship, you no longer can talk about the 12 greatest players ever and not include Nikola Jokic. So he's like, Baker's dozen is 13, obviously. He's somewhere on that bottom row if they win the title. You can argue where he is, and I know Brew has Wilt lower than I do, so whatever it is. But
I think he'd have to replace Akeem.
But I think you might also have him replace ahead of Wilt. Like
Wilt Chamberlain?
He would have same rank. Maybe ahead of Steph. I don't know.
Ahead of Steph, you're already on 10.
No,
Steph's got 4. I wouldn't put him.
Point is this,
friend
Brew.
of the show.
He's
getting in there.
He's in there. He's in there. He's one of the dozen.
With his numbers, his
MVPs, what looks like might be 6 consecutive top 2 MVP finishes if they win the championship. His face is somewhere on that graphic, and somebody's face is coming off it. Just what it is. It has the rules.
Yeah,
rules.
It has to.
True team effort. Back to the tiers. Leave it up there so I didn't forget anybody this time. True team effort. And by that I mean Brad Stevens, the GM, Joe Mazzulla, the coach, Jaylen Brown, Baylor Shireman, Derek White, the damn team trainer, Jason Tatum. Everybody had to come together for this Celtics season to be what it is. The depth acquired by Brad Stevens, the absolutely compete every single night instilled by Mazzulla, Jaylen Brown taking a leap in leadership and in ability. All those guys, this is a real, all 15 guys in the whole staff together. And then atop the tiers, but with a question mark, maybe, just maybe, getting a bit ahead of ourselves. I mean, dynasties and Michael Jordan, and could they win 4 in a row? And
I thought about 3 in a row.
They're the best team. They're the favorite. They're the deepest team. They have the MVP. But we maybe are getting a tiny bit ahead of ourselves. Brew, sorry for how long it was. That's the latest tier.
The names, of course. Who is it? What's his name? Marshall?
Marshall's for football, but that's fine.
Outstanding.
It's Bob for the NFL.
Bob, that's right. Bob. Bob's the only one on the committee with a.
No, oddly, the NFL committee has very unique names.
Thurgood,
Yes,
Marshall.
exactly. The NBA committee has more monosyllabic names. That's just how it worked out.
All right, first of all, bonus take. All right? The bonus take is
This should be behind
Detroit
a paywall.
is ahead of the Knicks. Detroit's one line above the Knicks. Because, I'm sorry, Ramsey, the Knicks want no piece of Detroit.
They did beat them in the playoffs.
I know, but Detroit was a young team that didn't know what they were doing, just happy to be there. And they gave them all they want. A couple breaks here or there, and that could have been the Pistons winning that series. This year, the Pistons have called the Knicks out and gone and blasted them every year, every time they played. So, Knicks, I don't think can beat the Pistons.
Okay.
That's what it is. So I put them ahead of them. But my real take, let's put Denver and San Antonio on the same line because, look, for how long? 40 some odd minutes of that game. And this is Dusty. What does he say?
Here's a nugget. I'm spurning Knicks tears.
Okay. Well, he gave away the finale, which was move Denver and San Antonio together, and they're both ahead of Boston.
Oh.
But here's why they're even. Because I am not so convinced at all that Denver's going to beat the Spurs. Because for 40 some odd minutes of that epic game a few weeks ago, Wemby was outplaying Jokic, and the Spurs were outplaying the Nuggets. And then, of course, Jokic got him late in the game. So I think that's going to be just a battle that either team could win. But I think the 3 best teams are OKC, Denver, and San Antonio. So I'm moving them ahead of Boston, drop Boston down.
That's an okay team.
Because here's the deal. I'm not sure who I'm going to pick. But the Knicks match up very well with the Celtics.
What?
I could find myself picking the Knicks.
I mean, I
over the
agree
Celtics.
that the Knicks match up well with the Celtics.
They got the wing defenders to defend them.
Did Ramsey threaten you or something? You've been doubting the Knicks all year.
They have the wing defenders to match up with them. And look, those guys in Boston, Shireman, Jordan, Walsh, this is their first rodeo in the postseason. Let's see what they do. They might freeze up a little. So I give the Knicks a shot in that series.
That was good. And the good bonus take.
Thank you.
I want to be optimistic, and I started this year saying I was going to be optimistic.
and
because
that
sometimes
lasted.
I'm
that
the
was
Lakers
like
hater.
The
I
first
don't
time
want
I
to be.
quit smoking, it lasted a day.
My Lakers optimism is waning. You know, it's nice out, right?
Yeah.
Outside. You've seen that?
Yeah.
Well, no, you're inside studying. You're trying to make up for your step stuff. I'm out there riding my bike now in my little outfit.
And your unitard?
Yeah, well, it's 2 pieces, but yes.
The helmet and everything.
Well, a helmet, yeah, that's not really a troll job. I wear a helmet.
Elbow pads, the
I don't wear a
flashers.
helmet. I don't wear a helmet. I have 2 bicycles, okay? If I get a flat tire on one, you'll see me on the side of the road, okay. I look confident. I look ridiculous, but I'm confident. If I get a flat tire on my other bike, where I can't get the tube off of the stupid rim, I'm a mess. Because I know I'm screwed. That was Luka's reaction when he pulled his hamstring. Nobody wants to address that. He knew his season was over. When he grabbed it, he's like, ah! He wasn't like, oh yeah, Spain. He knows Spain exists. He played for Real Madrid for a long time. He's like, oh, you know what? All good. I'll miss a few games. Maybe I'll miss the first 2 games. Pop on over to Spain, have some, tapas, have some jamon, get my trainer to work on my hamstring, come on back, score 30, beat the Rockets, move on. He didn't think that. Guess who else doesn't think that? JJ Redick. Take a listen.
I mean, look, they're out indefinitely. I'm not going to have an update for you this week. They're out indefinitely.
He's done, dude.
He looks
Okay.
crestfallen.
He's done.
Hold on, Dustin. Give me 6 seconds. 2 quick replies. Luka was crestfallen. Is it possible that what he knew for certain was, whatever hope I had of stealing this MVP or All NBA or my regular season's over. I'm playing the best ball in my career. My regular season's over, and that was part of it. That's at least on the board. It's at least possible.
I'll entertain it.
Here's the other thing. Could he, the day he got hurt, if they said he's out a month, do you think he would have been devastated about that? I think he would have been. 1 month, 27 days after the injury, put up the schedule, is game 5. He got hurt on
a month after? Wow.
27 days after he got hurt on April 2nd. Game 5 is April 29th. That's 27 days later. So he could miss huge time and be back given how this series...
7 days is not a month.
It's 4 weeks.
And it's like a month, it was like 4 to 6 weeks.
It's
we
a
took
February.
Wendy the other day called it 3 to 5. I'm just telling you what he called it. I've heard 4 to 6. I've heard a month to 2 months. I don't know.
27 days?
I don't know.
Have you heard 3 weeks and
You
some
know what
change?
I've heard? 3 semanas. That's right. That's what they were telling him while they were doing it, injecting him in Spain.
They're not
That's right.
injecting. I don't know.
He'll be back. Thank you. Gianna knows.
No.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.